D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds, and welcome to my week in review, where I come to you every Sunday with 3 entertainment stories that I personally find interesting, and then we discuss them down below. Now, also down below, you can find the articles that I read to bring you this video, and you can read them for yourself, or you can just watch this video where I'm going to read them to you. I also want to say that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to our channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like mine, we just keep getting shoved to the back of the line. So please ask that you like, share, and subscribe, and I thank you in advance. All right, now that we got that out of the way, why don't we go ahead and get started on our first story. All right, you guys, so for our first story today, this comes from Deadline, my favorite. And it says, Naomi Scott to star in the next installment of Paramount's Smile franchise. Now, I want to just say before we get started, I loved Smile. I thought it was so good. It was such a unique, it wasn't unique in the sense that, like, it's that kind of thing has never been done before. But it was unique in the sense that I really liked how they went about it in terms of like this, like you ever seen that It Follows movie? It's kind of like that, but just, a little different. And plus the smile was like so creepy. All right. And then of course, Naomi Scott, which we're going to read about, she was in Power Rangers. And then she was also in Aladdin. She played Princess Jasmine. But let's go ahead and read this article, and then I'll share my thoughts as we go along. So it says, Naomi Scott has been set to star in Paramount Pictures' untitled sequel to its hit horror pick, Smile. Parker Finn wrote the script and will direct. Temple Hill is producing. The original was a runaway hit last year after Paramount made the smart move to release it in theaters rather than on Paramount Plus. Oh, look at that. They got a little typo there. It's an O instead of on. Anyways, the gamble paid off. The film went on to gross $217 million worldwide, with a sequel quickly put in development. The original film revolved around a psychiatrist who, after witnessing a bizarre traumatic incident involving a patient, becomes increasingly convinced she is being threatened by an uncanny entity. Plot details for the sequel are being kept under wraps. Of course they are, but this is my whole thing about the wraps is how can it be under wraps when it's like, you know what the sequel's gonna be about. It's gonna be the Smile curse, just, with a bunch of different people. It'll just be interesting to see who they pick for the character to, like, because I thought it was interesting that a psychiatrist was the character for the first movie, because not only is she dealing with all these things that she's seeing, but she's dealing with the fact that, hey, I'm a psychiatrist. This is all in my head. I thought it was interesting, and I really liked it. All right, let's read the last of this, and then I'll give you my thoughts on it and everything. Given the popularity of the first pick, Paramount sees the film as a top priority going forward, and the casting process was competitive with several up-and-coming stars chasing the part Scott would eventually land. The sequel is due to be released October 18th, 2024. Ooh, so quickly. But at the same time, horror movies, they're usually made on the cheap. Their horror movies are pretty cheap to make. And then also it's just, they're easy to pump out. Like these ones, I don't know how much CGI goes into it, but I'm assuming not as much as, like, say, a Marvel movie, if you will, sorry. Best known for her star-making role as Princess Jasmine in Disney's live-action Aladdin, Scott just wrapped Eternal Return, the first film under her production banner, New Name Entertainment. I love how all these actors have production companies now. It's so funny. Like, soon there's going to be no names left to Geek What Productions is mine. I called it right here, right now. You can't have Geek What Productions. Anyways, or Geek What Entertainment. I call both of them. Anyways, also produced and financed by Marco and Village Roadshow. Eternal Return also stars Kit Harington. Oh, it's cursed. It's cursed. Scott will next be seen in David Majaja's upcoming A24 film Wizards. Ooh. As a female lead opposite Pete Davidson and Orlando Bloom. Oh, God, I love that Orlando Bloom. Okay, it says, on the TV side, she starred in David E. Kelly's Netflix series Anatomy of a Scandal. I didn't see that. All right, we're just going to skip the rest of this. Sorry. It's been like a hot minute since I read this article the first time, so I just need a hot second to get my stuff together. All right, so here are my thoughts. First thought is, I do like Naomi Scott. I do like her. I think she's a talented actress, but I have to say, I don't think this movie should be made. This is why. Smile, I thought, was a really good movie. But I just go, why do you have to keep redoing this? We don't need another Smile movie. We just need you to make a good movie. You know what I'm saying? So I think that they should not make a Smile sequel. I think they should totally get rid of the Smile sequel idea and make another good movie. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. I have nothing against Naomi Scott. In fact, she's very pretty. I think she's a decent actress. But when it comes to that Smile series, I just go, I don't want a sequel. I thought the first one was good. You did a good job. Now let's make another movie. Like, you know that movie, It Follows? That movie, and I mentioned it before, but that movie was so good. But I go, one-off. Just do the one-off. So, people like myself, we love that crap. So I don't see why they keep doing that. And I wish they would stop, in my personal opinion, but they're not going to. All right, you guys. So that was my first story of the week. So for my second story of the week, all right, you guys. So it looks like Christopher Abbott is going to replace Ryan Gosling in this Wolfman movie. So right there on the left is Christopher Abbott. And you may know him from the show Girls. That's where I know him from. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head that he's been in that I would remember him from. But I do enjoy him as an actor. But let's read this real quickly. So it says, Christopher Abbott is replacing Ryan Gosling in Wolfman. Abbott, who can currently be seen in the big screen in Poor Things, haven't seen it yet, will star in the Wolfman thriller from Blumhouse and Universal Pictures. The companies have set an October 25th, 2024 release date for the feature. I don't know if they're going to be able to make that. That's a little under than a year. And if they need visual effects, unless they're doing like minimal visual effects and they're doing like practical effects with his makeup, because that's what the very first one is. Yeah, let's keep reading. And then I do have more thoughts on this. The company's, sorry, I read that. Ryan Gosling had been on board to star in the film for the past 3+ years. Now he's departing the project, but he will receive an executive producer credit. Of course he will, because he is, is that it? Oh, maybe I read a different, story on this. Okay, so hold on. Let me just make sure I'm not missing something, because I thought there was more to this specific article, and I thought there was more, but maybe I'm wrong. Okay. All right, well, then let me just let Daddy give you his thoughts, all right? So here are my thoughts on this story. I like Christopher Abbott, and I do like Ryan Gosling I think Ryan Gosling is a really good actor. I think he's really good. But besides Barbie, and maybe he's got to turn around, Ryan Gosling has been box office poison up till Barbie. Because if you look at his box office, he only gets like 11 million for the box office, whatever movie he's in. So I just go, listen, he may be a good actor, but he's not pulling in the people. And even Barbie, I don't think it was Ryan Gosling that really pulled people in. I think that was just because it was very, pink and very woman-centric and everything. And I think that most people just came because of the Barbie, and the ad campaign was phenomenal for Barbie. So I don't know. I don't know if Ryan Gosling leaving the project was a bad thing, but I don't know if bringing Christopher Abbott on is the thing that's going to save it in terms of will it be good. Now, if it's like that Invisible Man movie, do you guys remember that with what's her face from the Handmaid's Tale? I can't remember her name off the top of my head. That movie was so good. It was like a modern take on the Invisible Man. I'm curious to see if they'll do the same thing with this Wolfman movie. And if they do, I'm all on board. Do you remember when Universal was going to do that? They were going to redo the Universal Monsterverse or whatever. And they had that picture of like Johnny Depp and Butera, what's her face? And then, Tom Cruise and everything, and they were all gonna be the new monsters. I can't remember who else was in it, and then they scrapped it because The Mummy did so badly. But I'm like, you could have pulled forward, just not, whatever. It was just bad. So, the Wolfman. I love the Wolfman, the original one, the black and white one. It's so good. It's super fun. But I just, I really love that movie. And I do like. There's a lot of other Wolfman adaptations that I really like, but I don't know if this is gonna be. We'll see. We'll see. It could be another sleeper hit like that Invisible Man was, and I think that was done by Blumhouse, if I'm correct off the top of my head. But we'll see how that works out. And good for Christopher Abbott. I really do like him as an actor. I think he's really talented. So we'll see how he fares there. So that was the second story of the week, you guys. So for my third story of the week, boom. Okay, you guys. So Dwayne Johnson is going to play an MMA, like an MMA guy and a UFC champion called Mark Kerr in Benny Safdie's The Smashing Machine, and that's for A24. Now, I want to say right off the bat, this comes from Deadline, by the way, my favorite. That last one was from the the Safdie brothers. They do a lot of really interesting movies. Like, and when I say interesting, I mean good. Like, I do think, like, they had that one with Robert Pattinson in it, and I love that movie. I can't remember the name of it. And then they had the one with Adam Sandler. What was that one called? I don't remember the name of that one either. I also really liked that one too. So when it comes to the Safdie brothers, I really like their work. Now this Benny Safdie, he fashions himself an actor. So he is going to be but it looks like he is going to be creating this movie. And so let's read. I had a picture of Mark Kerr before we did this next to Dwayne Johnson. But let's read this article, and then I'll tell you my thoughts. So it says, Dwayne Johnson will play Mark Kerr, a legendary MMA fighter from the no-holds-barred era of the UFC in A24's The Smashing Machine. The movie, which the studio is producing and financing, puts them back in business with Benny Safdie, and that's who's up at the top here next to Dwayne Johnson, who co-directed and co-wrote one of their big hits, Uncut Gems. That's the one with Adam Sandler. Safdie also wrote the script for The Smashing Machine. Good for him. He also did some acting and stuff. Acting-wise, like I said before, he fashions himself an actor, but personally, I don't think he's like all that great when it comes to acting. But then again, I don't want to diss on him because I don't know him, but yeah. So it says, Johnson and Safdie have been collaborators on the project since Johnson's $7 production acquired rights in 2019. The pick will follow Kerr's struggle with addiction, winning, love, and friendship in the year 2000. It says Johnson and Danny Garcia's $7 will produce alongside Safdie's Out for the Count banner. So many, I talked about this in my last story, but everybody's got a production company now. Geek What Production / Geek What Entertainment. It's mine. I called it already. Okay. So it says Kerr is a former wrestler and mixed martial artist during his MMA career. He was a 2-time UFC heavyweight tournament champion, World Val Tudo. I don't know what that is. Championship tournament winner. A lot of wins. So good for him, for Mark Kerr. So it says in 2003, Kerr was the subject of an HBO documentary, The Smashing Machine, which detailed his MMA career fighting in Vale Tudo? I don't know what that is. The UFC and Pride. Let's see. Said Noah Sacco of A24, Dwayne and Benny are singular talents, and their shared vision for Mark's inspiring story is electrifying. We are deeply honored to have their trust as collaborators in bringing this incredibly special project to life. And then it says Johnson, he's represented. This is Safdie's first directing project since Uncut Gems, which he co-helmed and co-wrote with his brother Josh. Okay, yeah, and then it says stuff that he was in. Like, he was in that Obi-Wan Kenobi show, which what a freaking nightmare that was. Okay, so here are my thoughts on this. So in terms of, good for Dwayne Johnson getting this role, although I have to admit, Dwayne Johnson is a little, oversaturating the market with himself. I have to be honest with you, I have nothing against Dwayne Johnson. I just want to say that right now. But at the same time, I just go, I'm kind of like, over him a little bit just because it's too much. I've had enough of Dwayne Johnson. I need a break from him. But at the same time, he get that money, Dwayne Johnson, you know what I'm saying? And then I don't know anything about Mark Kerr's past because I personally, that's not my world, that's not my wheelhouse, but I would watch this movie. I always like those fight movies like $1 Million Baby, and then there's that new one with Zac Efron in it that I do want to see. So I do like those movies, but I just don't know anything about this Mark Kerr guy. As far as Benny Safdie goes, good for him. Listen, I don't think he's the best actor, but at the same time, I did like him in he was in Uncut. Was he? No, not in Uncut Gems. The one with Robert Pattinson. He played his brother, I believe. Sorry, it's been a while since I saw that movie, but I do remember liking everything about that movie. So maybe it's just the role, because I didn't like him in Obi-Wan Kenobi. I thought he was terrible, but maybe it's the role. But if this is his directorial debut, good for you, dude. I say get yours, and always trying to expand your talent and everything. And I'm not trying to discourage or be negative about the whole situation. I just need to see it to believe it. You know what I'm saying? But I am definitely down with the sickness and everything. All right, you guys. So that was my final story of the week. Tell me, what do you guys think about all of this? How do you feel about Naomi Scott being the lead in the Smile sequel? Are you like me and I like Naomi Scott, but I really don't want them to do a Smile sequel. I mean, I just thought the first movie was just so good, and doing a sequel, it might take away from that because it could be terrible. You never know. And I just go, nobody wants that. You know what I'm saying? I just want the first movie. Like, have her in a horror movie. I'm down with that, but just it doesn't have to be a Smile sequel. You know what I'm saying? But it's fine. Also, tell me, how do you guys feel about Christopher Abbott taking over for Ryan Gosling in this Wolfman movie? Do you think this was a good choice, picking Christopher Abbott? I understand Ryan Gosling had to leave no matter what, but I mean, his replacement was Christopher Abbott the right choice? I don't know. Christopher Abbott, I feel like he's a talented actor. Like I said before, I do enjoy him in everything that I've seen him in. But at the same time, I go, is he going to bring in, is he going to fill the seats? Because right now I'm thinking he's not going to, you know what I'm saying? But good for him. And I mean, I will see this Wolfman movie. I love all those Universal monster movies. I love all of them. Those creatures, like Creature in the Black Lagoon is my favorite. But I love all of those. And then tell me, how do you guys feel about Dwayne Johnson being this Mark Kerr guy in this Smashing Machine movie being directed by Benny Safdie? Do you like this idea? Do you know a lot about Mark Kerr? Did you see that documentary, all that good stuff? Are you a huge Dwayne Johnson fan? How do you feel about the Safdie brothers, their work so far and all that stuff? But yeah. All right, you guys, but tell me what you guys think about all of this. You can go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys next week on my week in review. You guys have a good week. Bye. Hey nerds, if you like this video, go ahead and click that Geek What icon and subscribe. And if you like this video, go ahead and join me every Sunday with my week in review.